Overwatch wasn't always the most negatively reviewed game on Steam. It used to be Blizzard's comeback, a colorful revolution of a stale FPS world, and millions believed they were a part of something special. But somewhere along the way, everything changed. And at first it was just months with no meaningful updates or content. I mean, most of us, I think, were just begging for fresh new heroes, events, maps, anything. And then came Overwatch 2, and I think most of us were stoked to see that happen. It was marketed as the evolution of the franchise, and instead it felt like a downgrade disguised as progression. Literally overwriting Overwatch 1, a game that I paid $40 for, and it replaced it with a sequel that I think most people think is the worst thing ever.
You're a little toddler.
Are you full health? Are you full health?
You can just mute me.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't tell me that.
It's almost like Overwatch sold its soul to the devil. Did this happen? Maybe not. The community erupted in backlash for the missing features, questionable monetization strategies, and the sense that Blizzard has quietly sold out to all the fans who made the game a cultural phenomenon. So let's go dive into the rise and fall of Overwatch. A lot of people don't know this, but the fact that Overwatch actually originated from the remains of a failure is something that a lot of people overlook. Blizzard was working on another project called Project Titan for 7 years. It was supposed to be the World of Warcraft killer, a cutting-edge MMO game that would completely change the gaming industry. But it collapsed. It was too big, too ambitious, too messy, and eventually Blizzard just scrapped the whole idea and took that core of developers and started developing Overwatch. This game was being led by Jeff Kaplan, aka Papa Jeff. Rest in peace. He didn't really die, but he just left the Overwatch team. But anyways, built on the corpse of Titan was a hero shooter. And at the time, the genre was basically just Team Fortress 2, which is starting to really show its age. And Blizzard does what old school Blizzard does best, and they took an existing game and they polished it into a near finish. When the open beta dropped on May 2016, 9.7 million people showed up, and it was truly the start of the cultural phenomenon. I mean, think about the gaming landscape that we had back then. I think we were in the middle of the grit era, if you want to call it that, where Call of Duty was this colorless shooter, and it was competing with Battlefield, which was, about large-scale battles and vehicle combat, and they all had this yellow tinge to it. Like most games were color graded this way. And then came Overwatch with its explosion of color, this Pixar level design, and the animated heroes. It was a unique game design for the time, and it really helped separate this game from all the others. And at the time, I think they really had this gamer first philosophy. Back then, you'd buy the game for $40. You owned it, new heroes, free, new maps, free. Even the loot boxes, you could pay for them, but you got a lot of them for free. There was a sense of progression that really respected your time and your money. And on top of that, we had developer updates where Jeff Kaplan would just sit on a couch and he would just talk to us.
Hey everybody, this is Jeff from the Overwatch team.
It didn't really feel like a corporate meeting. It kind of just felt like, you're just talking to another player who actually enjoys the game as much as you did. You actually kind of felt a part of the developer team in a sense. The game felt like a tight-knit community, and I guess in a lot of ways it was, until eventually that all changed. Now for those first 2 years, Overwatch was completely untouchable, with update after update, fun events like the Summer Games, Halloween Terror, the Uprising event. This became our first real look at the lore of the game, and it really felt like Blizzard could go anywhere with this story. I mean, the world felt infinite. But as the game grew, the corporate suits started to look at the numbers, and they didn't just think the success of the game was enough, they wanted more. They truly wanted a global empire. Now enter the Overwatch League, aka OWL. This was the first crack in the foundation. Blizzard essentially wanted to be the NFL of gaming. They sold city-based franchises for $20 million. They wanted high-stakes, professional play. But in chasing the pro scene, they kind of forgot about everybody else. Pretty much anybody else who wasn't in Diamond Rank. Suddenly, the game wasn't being balanced for fun, it was being balanced for the top 0.1% of players. This led to the GOATS meta, where there was 3 tanks and 3 supports. It wasn't really entertaining for Blizzard's purpose of the game. So instead of innovating, they restricted. They gave us role queue. They locked us in a 2-2-2 system where the freedom of 6 Winstons or the meme 5 DPS chaos was completely gone. And the game started to feel almost like a job, like if you were good at a role, you basically had to do that role 24/7. It didn't really feel like fun anymore, it just felt like you're just filling in the shoes if you could do it.
I I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad!
But even then, after all that, we stayed. We stayed because we loved the community. The gunplay was still the best in the business until the updates just stopped. The long silence, the 1,000-day drought. In 2019 at BlizzCon, they announced Overwatch 2. They told us the original game was going on life support so they can focus all their manpower on building a massive, highly replayable PvE campaign. And I think we're all pretty excited about that. They promised us talent trees, story missions, and a reason to care about the story of the game. And for 3 years, we got nothing. Literally nothing. Imagine any other live service game, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Destiny 2, just stopping. No new heroes for 3 years. No new maps for 3 years. Meanwhile, the world moved on, and Overwatch kind of became basically a museum of once was. We were just waiting for a sequel that we didn't even know that we needed. All the while, the game that we actually loved was rotting on the vine. Jeff Kaplan even left, and that was essentially the heart and soul of the original team that started the community to begin with. Everything felt like it started to evaporate. And I think the community at the time was getting restless. Even the pros stopped playing the game. And I think most of us at the time had this cynical, we'll just wait and see attitude. Now cue the launch of Overwatch 2. The sequel actually felt like a scam. Okay, it came out in October 4th, 2022. This is the day that the dream of Overwatch officially died. And it wasn't a sequel, it was an update at most, and it deleted basically all of the cool things that its predecessor did. And Blizzard did something that I still kind of find unforgivable. They literally took the game that we all paid for, $40 mind you, and then made it completely free. Which I think some of us were like, cool, you know, we like free games. But it felt more like a mobile game. Just the whole game's menu is just designed to make you want to buy stuff. The skins, the heroes, whatever it is. And on top of that, there was a shift from the 6v6 to the 5v5. And this really changed everything. So Blizzard decided to cut a tank, and this totally changed the gameplay. There was no more tank synergy anymore. Before, you could have a Reinhardt and a Zara, and you could do these, you know, fun combinations with a Winston and Diva dive comps. There was all this tactical soul to the game. And everything became flattened to create a faster, more deathmatch style experience. Felt less like a team game and more like a chaotic scramble. If your one tank was bad, the game was completely over. And on top of that, there was a paywall and a battle pass, which on the surface isn't a real bad thing, but the real gut punch was how they really forced you to buy these things. Heroes were no longer free. In Overwatch 2, if you wanted the new hero, you had to either grind the battle pass to tier 55 or you would have to buy it. Okay, quick intermission here. Quick intermission. I have to give a little update because I actually haven't played Overwatch 2 for like 2 years. And so I'm kind of writing this on memory here. But I just played recently, and they have since updated the character thing where you no longer have to buy characters or play the game a shit ton to get the characters. All the characters are free now. But the fact that they made this game and you had to buy these characters and now they're free, like if I bought these characters, I'm already mad for them. I'm already mad. So anyways, those are free now, so that's cool. The uncool thing is, you know that PvE mode that they promised us from the beginning? Well, that's here now, but it cost $15 a mission. That was supposed to be in the game, you know, that was kind of the whole point of this game. So anyways, rant over. In a game that's literally built on the mechanic of counter swapping, locking a hero behind a paywall or a 40-hour grind is actually kind of game breaking. And then even if we take a look at the shop, I mean, it could be $20 for a skin that the old game would give you for free. Or at the very least, you could just play for a weekend and earn that skin back in Overwatch 1. Now it's $20, like it's a little ridiculous. But here is the most frustrating part, the PvE lie. The entire reason for Overwatch 2, the whole reason behind its existence, the whole reason behind the 3-year content drought was the new hero mode. And then May 2023 comes and Blizzard admitted that they had scrapped the entire hero mode and the talent trees. I think what's frustrating is they sat on stage, selling those battle passes, pushing out the sequel's branding, all the while knowing the core promise was dead. It wasn't a development pivot, it was a complete betrayal. Now the what could have been, when you look at other games in this space, the fall of Overwatch becomes even more tragic to look at. I mean, we look at the way that other games did these hard launches and they failed, and then they ended up turning out some updates and the game actually became great. Let's take a look at No Man's Sky, for example. The launch was disastrous, and the devs spent years trying to give away free massive updates to anyone who was willing to play the game just to make it right. Even Apex Legends or Valorant. They had expensive shops, sure, but they didn't delete an entire previous game to exist. They didn't lie about the massive PvE mode for 3 years just to keep players from leaving. Think about Elden Ring. It's a game that respects the player's intelligence and their wallet. You buy it and you get a masterpiece. Blizzard used to be the Elden Ring of the 2000s. If it had the Blizzard logo on it, you pretty much knew it was probably going to be the best game in the world. Now that logo kind of feels like a warning sign. The Battle Pass era has turned gaming into almost a second job. I don't want to log in because I have a daily challenge to complete. I just want to log in to play the game and hang out with friends. Blizzard took all the fun out of the game and essentially turned it into a metric. Now when I look back at this game, I look back at, specifically in college, I had a lot of fun playing Overwatch, the original. I made tons of friends. I mean, I still talk to most of these people today. They almost feel like family. So it hurts to experience that and see that world just turned into essentially what is a storefront. It's like coming back to your childhood home and finding out it's been turned into some loan office. Sure, the walls are the same, the layout's familiar, but the home part is just completely gone. I mean, a lot of us dumped thousands of hours into this game. We defended it when people said it was dying. We waited through the 1,000-day update drought because we believed that the vision of Overwatch 2 was actually going to be something. And in return, we got a game that treated us like an ATM. So, can Overwatch make a comeback? Can it be saved? The core gameplay, the feel of the heroes, is still pretty damn good. The art team is still killing at creating amazing content. But for the game to truly return, Blizzard has to do something that they haven't done in a long time. I think they have to be honest. They have to stop this predatory monetization scheme. They have to bring back that soul that Jeff Kaplan took with him when he left. But let's be real, in this current corporate climate, is that really likely? I'm guessing probably not. I mean, we're in an era of creating the most minimal product possible and maximizing profit. And for Blizzard, that means Overwatch isn't just a game, it's mainly just a way to sell skins. It's a storefront. Overwatch 1 was a dream. It was a vision of a better future where the world could always use more heroes. It was a game that brought people together. Overwatch 2 is a ghost. It is a hollowed out shell of something that was amazing, something great, being piloted by a corporation that has lost its way. So if you're still out there playing Overwatch 2, I get it. The itch is hard to scratch anywhere else, but let's not pretend that this is what we were promised. We deserved better. I mean, to literally scrap a whole game, literally deleting it to force us to play Overwatch 2, kind of sucks ass. But anyways, this one has been sitting on my mind for a long time. I don't know if you're like me, but I spent way too much time in college playing this game. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please drop a sub if you like more gaming content, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.
I'm just farting and playing Overwatch. Cowboy hat and a busted couch. Used to feel like heart and soul. Now it's all grind, grab, and cash out. Feels like they signed on the dotted line. Gave that magic up for gold. We lost Jeff Kaplan somewhere down that road. And I'm farting and playing Overwatch alone.